The signature was perfect, too. Perfect. I've examined tens of thousands of signatures in my 43 years as a forensic document examiner. And I can tell you this: people don't sign their names the same way twice. There are always micro-variations, pressure differences, slight tremors, the natural inconsistency of being human. But this signature on a will dated March 17, 2023 was identical to 17 other signatures I'd found in the deceased's financial records, down to the pixel, down to the pressure pattern, down to the microscopic ink distribution. That's when I knew something was impossibly wrong. Because Richard Pemberton died on March 14, 2023, days before he allegedly signed his final will. My name is Victor Hale. I'm 72 years old, and I've spent the last 8 years trying to forget the biggest mistake of my career. But some mistakes don't let you forget them. Some mistakes wait in filing cabinets and cold case boxes until the exact moment you think you found redemption. This is the story of how I discovered a signature that shouldn't exist, uncovered a conspiracy that reached back 15 years, and learned that sometimes the dead can still sign their names, if someone living knows exactly how to make them. The case came to me on a Tuesday. I don't take many cases anymore. After I retired from the FBI's Question Documents Unit in 2015, I thought I was done with crime scenes and courtrooms and the weight of being the person who determines truth from lie with nothing but a microscope and instinct. But then there was the Thompson case in 2012, the case where my analysis put an innocent man in prison for 8 years. The case where I testified with absolute certainty that Marcus Thompson had forged his business partner's signature on documents transferring company assets. The case where I was wrong. They released Marcus in 2020, when new evidence proved the signatures were authentic after all. By then, his wife had left him. His daughter wouldn't speak to him. His business was gone. 8 years of his life stolen because I saw a forgery that didn't exist. I stopped taking cases after that. Stopped trusting my eyes. Stopped believing I could tell the difference between real and fake when the difference meant someone's freedom. But the Pemberton estate case was different, or so I thought. Attorney Sarah Chen called me on that Tuesday morning. I was in my home office, the spare bedroom of my Philadelphia row house that I'd converted into a makeshift forensic lab. The morning light filtered through dusty blinds, casting stripes across tables covered in magnifying equipment and reference samples I couldn't bring myself to pack away. Mr. Hale. Her voice was professional but urgent. My name is Sarah Chen. I'm an estate attorney with Morrison & Associates. I have a situation that requires your expertise. I'm retired, I said. The same thing I'd said to every attorney who'd called in the past 3 years. I know. I also know about the Thompson case. My hand tightened on the phone. Then you know why I can't help you, Mr. Hale. I'm not asking you to testify. I'm asking you to look at something that doesn't make sense. Just look. If you can't help, I'll understand. But if what I suspect is true, someone is committing fraud using a dead man's signature. And I have no one else I can trust with this. The word trust hit differently than she probably intended. What's the case? I asked, against my better judgment. Richard Pemberton, 78 years old. Died March 14th of a heart attack. Very wealthy estate worth approximately $47 million. He had 3 children from his first marriage and a second wife, Elena, who he married 5 years ago. Let me guess. Contested will. 2 wills, actually. The first, dated 2018, leaves everything equally to his 3 children. The second, dated March 17th, 2023, leaves everything to Elena, except for token amounts to the children. The children are contesting the second will, claiming their father was either coerced or that the signature is forged. March 17th. I wrote the date down, though I'd already memorized it. When did Richard Pemberton die? March 14th. The will was allegedly signed 3 days after his death. There it was. The impossibility that had made her call me. Who witnessed the signature? I asked. 2 witnesses. Elena Pemberton and her brother, Andre. They both signed attestations that they watched. Richard signed the will on March 17th at his home. That's either a really stupid forgery attempt or something more complicated. That's what I need you to determine. Will you look at the documents? I stared at my equipment. At the microscope I hadn't used in 8 months. At the spectral comparator that had once been my most trusted tool until it told me things that turned out to be wrong. I'll look, I said finally. But I'm not testifying. And I'm not putting this in writing. You want my opinion? That's all you get. That's all I'm asking for. She was lying, of course. Attorneys always want more than they're asking for. But I agreed to meet her that afternoon. The Pemberton estate documents arrived in a locked briefcase that Sarah Chen handed me like she was passing nuclear codes. We met at a coffee shop in Center City, neutral territory, away from law offices and courtrooms. Everything's in here, she said. The 2018 will, the 2023 will, financial documents with Richard's verified signatures, medical records, death certificate. I've also included higher resolution scans of everything. I accepted the briefcase. It was heavier than it should have been. Or maybe that was just the weight of getting back into this work. The children hired me, Sarah continued. They believe Elena coerced their father in his final months, isolated him from family, and likely forged this will after his death to steal their inheritance. But I need proof before I make those accusations in court. What does your gut tell you? She paused, stirring her coffee. My gut tells me something's very wrong. But my gut also tells me it's more complicated than a simple forgery. Smart attorney, trust the complication. I took the briefcase home and spread everything across my examination table. The afternoon light was better than morning, less shadow, more clarity. I put on my magnification visor and started with what I knew for certain. Richard Pemberton's verified signatures. I had 17 of them from various documents spanning 2015 to early 2023. Bank documents, property deeds, tax returns, all authenticated by other forensic examiners over the years. All definitely Richard Pemberton's hand. I examined each one under 40x magnification, noting the characteristics that made them uniquely his. Distinctive capital R, with an extended leg, capital P, with a loop that doubled back compressed middle letters in heavy pressure on downstrokes, slight rightward slant. Approximately 15 degrees, micro tremor, consistent with essential tremor condition. I photographed each signature, measured pressure patterns with my VSC 6000 spectral comparator, analyzed ink composition. After 3 hours, I had a comprehensive profile of Richard Pemberton's signature. Then I turned to the contested will. The document was dated March 17th, 2023. Professional printing. Legal language. Standard will format. At the bottom, 3 signatures. Richard Pemberton. Elena Pemberton, Andre Volkov. I focused on Richard's signature first, and immediately felt my stomach drop. It was perfect. Not perfect as in well-executed forgery. Perfect as in absolutely identical to the signature on his March 8th tax return. Pulled up the tax return signature on my computer screen. Placed the will signature under my comparison microscope. Overlaid them digitally. They matched exactly, not similar. Not close, identical. Every curve, every pressure point, every microscopic variation in ink flow. The signatures were the same down to measurements of 0.01 millimeters. That's impossible. Human beings don't replicate their signatures with that level of precision. Even tracing leaves microscopic differences. Even the most skilled forger creates variations in pressure, speed, hesitation, but these signatures were twins. I sat back from the microscope, my mind racing through possibilities. Possibility 1, digital forgery. Someone scanned Richard's real signature and printed it onto the will. I checked the ink under spectral analysis. Not printed. Real ballpoint pen ink, applied with genuine pressure, creating fiber displacement in the paper. Someone had physically signed this document. Possibility 2, mechanical reproduction. A signature machine or robot arm guided by digital template. I examined the stroke patterns. Genuine human variation in speed. Slight tremor consistent with Richard's essential tremor. No machine precision markers. Possibility 3, tracing with extreme skill. Tracing leaves hesitation marks where the forger pauses to check accuracy. I looked for them. None. The signature flowed with the same confident speed as Richard's verified signatures. Possibility 4. I was wrong about the match. Confirmation bias, making me see identical patterns that were actually just similar. I ran the digital comparison 3 more times. Measured 50 different data points. The signatures weren't just similar. They were mathematically identical within margin of error, which left only one possibility. I didn't want to consider. Richard Pemberton had somehow signed this will on March 17th, 3 days after he died. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my office, staring at those signatures, trying to find the flaw in my analysis, trying to see what I was missing, because I had to be missing something. Dead men don't sign wills, but my equipment didn't lie. The signature was physically created by a human hand, using genuine pressure with Richard Pemberton's exact tremor pattern and writing characteristics. The ink was real, not printed. The paper showed authentic fiber displacement from pen pressure at 3 a.m. I pulled out the death certificate. Richard Pemberton. Died March 14th, 2023, 11:47 a.m. Cause, cardiac arrest. Location, Pemberton residence. Attended by Dr. Michael Torres. Pronounced dead at scene. Body released to Greenfield Funeral Home. I called Sarah Chen despite the hour. She answered on the second ring. Attorneys never sleep either. I need to see the body, I said. Victor, it's 3 in the morning. Was Richard Pemberton embalmed? Cremated? Buried? March 18th at Laurel Hill Cemetery. Why? Because I need to verify he's actually dead. Silence on the line. Then, you can't be serious. The signature on that will is absolutely authentic by every forensic measure I can apply. Which means either Richard Pemberton signed it after he died, or someone has developed a signature replication technology that doesn't exist yet, or what? Or Richard Pemberton didn't die on March 14th. Sarah Chen got a court order for exhumation by Friday. It wasn't easy. The Pemberton children supported it. They wanted any evidence of fraud. Elena Pemberton fought it viciously through her attorney, which made me more suspicious. If your husband really died and his signature was forged, why fight exhumation that could prove it? But the judge agreed. The signature anomaly was significant enough to warrant verification of death. They opened the grave on Monday morning. I wasn't present. That wasn't my role. But Sarah called me from the cemetery, and I could hear the strain in her voice. He's dead, Victor. Bodies decomposed, consistent with 12 days in the ground. Dr. Torres confirmed visual identification. Richard Pemberton is definitely dead. Was definitely dead on March 14th. I stared at the will on my desk, at the signature that couldn't exist but did. Then I don't know what I'm looking at, I admitted. Could you have made a mistake? Could the signatures not actually match? The question stung. Because of course I could make mistakes. I'd made the biggest one of my career 8 years ago. I'll check again, I said. I spent Monday evening re-examining everything. Triple-checking measurements, running new spectral analyzers, looking for any sign I'd been wrong. The signatures still matched perfectly by Tuesday. I was considering possibilities that bordered on impossible. Someone had created a perfect mechanical reproduction system. Elena had practiced Richard's signature for years, until she achieved impossible accuracy. There was a twin or body double no one knew about. I was losing my mind and seeing matches that didn't exist. The last possibility scared me most. That's when Sarah Chen called with new information. I found something, she said. I went through Richard's medical records more carefully. He had a stroke in February 2023. How bad? Moderate. Right side weakness. His handwriting should have changed after that. But look at this. I'm sending you a scan now. My computer pinged. I opened the file, a medical form signed by Richard Pemberton on February 28, 2023. 2 weeks after his stroke. The signature looked different, shakier, less controlled. The tremor was more pronounced. The letters compressed differently. This is what his signature should have looked like in March, Sarah said. After the stroke. But the will signature matches his pre-stroke hand. That was impossible for a different reason now. Are you saying someone copied an old signature? I asked. I'm saying whoever signed that will didn't know Richard had a stroke. They copied his old signature pattern, not realizing his hand had changed. A cold clarity settled over me. Send me everything you have on Elena Pemberton and Andre Volkov, I said. Employment history, travel records, everything. Why? Because one of them is a professional forger who's very, very good. And I need to figure out how they did it. Elena Volkov maiden name. Before she became Elena Pemberton, had an interesting past. Born in Moscow, 1983, immigrated to the United States. In 2005, worked as a graphic designer for several years. Married Richard Pemberton in 2018 when she was 35 and he was 73. Her brother, Andre Volkov, was more interesting. Art conservator. Specialized in document restoration and analysis. Studied at the Surikov Art Institute in Moscow. Known for training some of the world's best art forgers before they supposedly went legitimate. He'd know how to replicate signatures, Sarah said when I called her with my findings. But you said this wasn't a simple forgery. It's not. But what if he found a way to make it more than simple? I needed to understand their method, because this wasn't just about one will. If someone had developed a signature replication technique this perfect, they could commit fraud anywhere, anytime. Bank documents, contracts, legal agreements. The implications were massive. I called an old colleague from the FBI, Tom Bradford, still active in the questioned documents unit. Victor, hell, man, how have you been? I need information on advanced forgery techniques, specifically mechanical signature reproduction. What's current state of the art? Why, you consulting again? Unofficially. What's possible today that wasn't possible 5 years ago? Tom paused. I heard keyboard clicking. Well, there's robotic signing systems. CNC machines adapted for signature reproduction. Some of them are scary good. You program them with pressure data and tremor patterns, and they can produce signatures that pass initial screening. Would they fool forensic analysis? The best ones? Maybe, but you'd still see machine precision patterns. Unnatural consistency in acceleration curves. Why? Because I'm looking at a signature that shows human variation but is mathematically identical to verified samples. And the person who allegedly signed it was dead at the time. Long silence. That's not possible, Victor, I know. Send me everything you have on mechanical signature reproduction. Papers, case files, technical specs, everything. You're sure about this? Because if you're getting back into consulting, you need to be sure. After Thompson, I know. Send me the files. He did. I spent Wednesday and Thursday reading technical papers on signature reproduction technology, learned about pressure-sensitive plotting systems, optical signature capture, tremor replication algorithms, and I learned something crucial. Even the best systems leave traces. Microscopic hesitation at direction changes where the machine recalculates trajectory, unnatural smoothness in curves, pressure patterns that are too consistent. I looked at the Pemberton will signature again, no hesitation marks, natural roughness in curves, pressure variation consistent with human muscle control. This wasn't made by a machine, so how was it made by a dead man? Asterisk, the answer came from an unexpected source, Marcus Thompson. The man I'd wrongly put in prison called me on Friday. Mr. Hale. His voice was older than I remembered, tired in ways that 8 years of wrongful imprisonment creates. Marcus, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say, relax. I'm not calling to yell at you. I heard you were working on the Pemberton case. Is that true? How did you hear that? Sarah Chen is my attorney's paralegal's cousin. Small legal world. Listen, I think I can help you. Help me how? By telling you what I learned in prison about signature forgery. Because I spent 8 years studying how signatures work after I was convicted of forging one I didn't forge. The irony was crushing. Marcus continued. There's a technique called signature harvesting, used by high-level forgers. They don't copy a signature. They collect real signatures and recombine elements. Explain. Say you have 10 authentic signatures from someone. You digitally analyze all 10. Break down every component, the way they write each letter, connection patterns, pressure points. Then you build a database of that person's genuine signature elements, and then you handwrite a new signature using only genuine components from the database. Each individual element is real, taken from authentic signatures. You're not copying or tracing, you're assembling a new signature from genuine parts. My mind was racing. That would create a signature that tests as authentic because every part of it is authentic. Exactly. And if you practice enough, if you train your hand to reproduce those genuine elements, you can create new signatures that are forensically identical to verified samples. But the precision required is achievable. I've seen forgers in prison who could do it. Takes years of practice, perfect visual memory, obsessive attention to detail. But it's possible. I thought about Andre, art conservator, trained in Moscow, someone who'd spent years studying fine motor control and visual replication. Marcus, why are you telling me this? Because you made a mistake that cost me 8 years. I'm not angry anymore. I'm tired of being angry. But maybe you can use this information to not make another mistake. Maybe you can stop someone else from going to prison wrongly. Or maybe you can put someone in prison who deserves it. Either way, do it right this time. He hung up. I sat there holding the phone, feeling the weight of redemption offered by the man I'd wronged. Then I went back to work. Signature harvesting. I pulled up all 17 of Richard Pemberton's verified signatures, analyzed each component, the R, the P, each letter, each connection dot. Then I broke down the contested will signature the same way, and there it was. The capital R came from the 2019 tax return. The P came from a 2021 bank document. The Ember connection came from a 2020 property deed. The ton ending came from a 2018 signature. Someone had literally assembled this signature from pieces of Richard Pemberton's authentic signatures, like building a sentence from words cut out of his own diary. Each component was genuine. When analyzed as a whole, it appeared authentic. But it was Frankenstein's monster, creation built from parts of the real thing, and it had been created after Richard Pemberton died, using his verified signatures as source material. Now, I needed to prove it. The proof came from ink analysis. Each signature is written with a specific pen, in specific conditions, at a specific time. Ink degrades at predictable rates. Environmental exposure creates measurable changes. I compared the ink on the contested will to the ink on Richard's verified. March 8th, signature his last authenticated signature before death. The March 8th signature showed 15 days of ink aging, oxidation, slight fading, chemical changes consistent with 15 days in a controlled environment. The March 17th will signature showed 3 days of ink aging. 3 days since the signature was actually created. Not since March 17th, when it was allegedly signed. Since March 14th, the day Richard Pemberton died. Someone had practiced creating this harvested signature for months, waited for Richard to die, then executed the signature on March 17th, knowing it would appear authentic under standard forensic examination. But they didn't account for one thing. Ink doesn't lie about when it was created. I called Sarah Chen, told her everything, explained signature harvesting, showed her the ink analysis, laid out the evidence. This is enough to invalidate the will, she asked. This is enough to prove fraud. The signature was created after death by someone with access to Richard's signature history. The only people who had that access were Elena and Andre. They had years to study his signatures, years to practice, and they made one mistake. They used pre-stroke signature components because they didn't know his hand had changed. They were working from old samples, not realizing his most recent signatures looked different. Sarah was quiet for a moment. Victor, this is brilliant work. You've solved it. But what? Will you testify? Because without your testimony, this is just my investigator's theory. With your testimony, this evidence becomes expert analysis that can invalidate a will and potentially lead to criminal charges. There it was. The question I'd been dreading. Would I testify? Would I stand in a courtroom again, present forensic evidence, speak with certainty about signatures and ink and fraud? Would I risk being wrong again? Risk destroying another life with another mistake? Victor, Sarah's voice was gentle. I know what you're thinking, but this isn't the Thompson case. This analysis is solid. Multiple verification methods, physical evidence, clear chain of logic. This is the work of the examiner you used to be. The one who was right 99 times out of 100. But that one time, you made a mistake. And you've punished yourself for 8 years. But Marcus Thompson just gave you permission to move forward. Maybe it's time to forgive yourself and use your skills for what they're meant for. Finding truth. I looked at the evidence spread across my desk. The signatures, the ink analysis, the component breakdown. It was solid work. The best I'd done in years. Maybe the best I'd ever done. I'll testify, I said. The testimony took place 3 weeks later. Elena Pemberton's attorney was aggressive, attacking my credentials, my methodology, my history. He brought up the Thompson case, implied I was unreliable, suggested my analysis was motivated by guilt rather than science, but the evidence stood. I presented the signature component analysis, showed how each part came from different authenticated signatures, explained signature harvesting in terms the jury could understand, displayed the ink aging analysis that proved the signature was created. Days after Richard Pemberton's death, Elena's attorney brought in his own forensic examiner who testified the signature was authentic. I asked him one question on cross. Did you analyze the individual signature components or just the signature as a whole? He'd only analyzed it as a whole, which meant he'd missed what I'd found. The jury deliberated for 6 hours. They found the March 17th will invalid due to fraudulent signature. Richard Pemberton's original 2018 will stood. His children inherited the estate as he'd originally intended. The district attorney opened a criminal investigation into Elena and Andre Volkov for fraud and forgery. After the verdict, Sarah Chen found me outside the courtroom. You did it, she said. Justice served, fraud exposed, rightful heirs protected. How do you feel? I thought about it. About 43 years of examining signatures, about the Thompson case that nearly destroyed me, about Marcus Thompson's unexpected gift of understanding, about Richard Pemberton, who'd died never knowing his signature would be stolen after death. I feel like I remembered who I used to be, I said. And who's that? Someone who looks for truth, even when it's hard. Even when I'm scared of being wrong, because being scared of mistakes means I still care about getting it right. She smiled. So you're consulting again? Maybe, small cases. Nothing I have to testify on unless I'm absolutely certain. I paused. But yeah, I think I'm back. Because here's what I learned. The dead can't sign their names, but the living can make it look like they did. If they're skilled enough and patient enough and willing to do the work. And someone needs to catch them. Someone who knows that signatures are more than just marks on paper. They're pieces of identity, fragments of personhood, evidence of existence, Someone who can look at ink and pressure and tremor and see the human being behind the writing. Someone like me. My name is Victor Hale. I'm a forensic document examiner. And I can tell you with certainty, Richard Pemberton did not sign that will on March 17th because Richard Pemberton was already dead. But his signature lived on until someone who cared enough about truth looked closely enough to see it wasn't real.